so many golfers out there really struggle with the early part of the golf swing, the takeaway. If that's you, I've got a really simple drill that anybody can do to give you some great feels, great ideas, and ultimately improve that part of your golf swing. So welcome back to what is becoming a very familiar setting for myself and hopefully for you if you've been watching the videos. We're at my home because we are currently in lockdown through COVID-19. We're talking about the takeaway in this video and a really simple drill that you can do. If you can hit balls, that's great, but even if you can't, it's going to give you some really good feels. Just before we get started, if you're not a subscriber, I'd love you to be part of my channel and part of the community. I really believe these videos can help you unlock some of your best golf. It is absolutely free. You just need to click on the description. You need to click, I should say, on the link, which is in the description down below the video. So what is the lesson plan today? Well, first of all, we're going to just discuss the kind of faults or the golfers that we're addressing. We're then going to talk about the two movements that are in the takeaway, which we need to balance and control. And then we're going to finish up with the drill, which is going to help you effectively work on these things if you've got some time to practice. So who are we going to help in this video? Well, we're going to help those golfers who tend to get the club head rolling behind them too early, where the club head kind of just gets too far behind them. Now you might know that as an inside takeaway, a rolled takeaway. Sometimes we see the arm disconnect, so it's potentially called a disconnected takeaway. And if we look at the sort of poor takeaways out there, this is the most common one. So what's actually happening in that takeaway? What's creating that movement? Well, if we just get rid of the golf club for a moment and just place my arm here. So in my arm, we have a rotational move, and we have a move into the wrist, so a wrist hinge or reset and a rotation. When that club moves too much in behind, effectively what we're seeing is we're seeing the arm rotate too much and potentially not using enough of the wrist hinge. So as you see this move away, as I rotate my arm too much, the club tends to get too far inside. So what we can sort of say for those golfers is they've got a lot of rotation and potentially not enough hinge, because we tend to see the club head very low to the ground when it moves inside. So those are the golfers, that's what they're doing. How do we address that? Well, very simply, once we know what we're looking to do, we're looking to create some more wrist hinge and less forehand rotation, we just create a drill which gives us those feels. So here's what we're going to do. Take your setup. I've got myself a 7-iron here. Anything would work. I mean, you could do this with any club, but the mid-iron would be advised. And as close as we can, we're going to keep the grip end of the club where it is, and we're just going to move the club head straight upwards in front of me. So effectively, all I've done there is I've added a wrist set. Okay, so you should see about 90 degrees here. Now from here, if I was to just rotate my shoulders and begin my backswing, what do we see? Well, we see a very different look. We see the club head already much higher, and we see the club head more in front of you. The reason for that is because we've got the wrist set in there, which is what's making that club go a little higher. And because we haven't rotated the forearms, the club's not moving in behind us. Now, when I do this little exercise and make a backswing, is that exactly where I want to be in my golf swing? Probably not. It's probably a little extreme. But all we're really trying to do is starting to create some feels. Now, how do I actually move this club from here towards an angle which would be seen as a little bit more natural? Well, we do need some amount of rotation of the forearms. That's what actually moves that club to this kind of more neutral plane, if you like. What we're trying to do in this video is take that forearm rotation and make it happen a little later and have the wrist set happen a little sooner. We're trying to change that kind of balance, if you like. So the golfers who struggle would have lots of rotation. You can see our club is low and inside. This little exercise here gets the club much more in front of me and much higher. So all you would do, get yourself set up, hinge the wrists. And there's two stages. If you were struggling with this initially, you could move to here, and then from here you could swing. That would be the sort of first one. Got to stop these balls coming back quicker than they go. I do need to put something in front of that net to slow them down. And then the next stage would be just to start your golf swing from here, but then go straight into your backswing. So let's do that again. So we hinge up, and then we make the backswing. And that would be the progression. Now, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to, as I do those shots, as I make those drills, I'm trying to effectively sort of take a snapshot almost of what did it feel like as I was in this area? What felt different? Did it feel different in my arms? Did the weight of the club feel different? What did it feel like? Because when I take a setup and I make a rehearsal backswing, I'm trying to sort of replicate that feeling. You imagine you take yourself onto a golf course, put yourself in the middle of the 5th hole, in the middle of the fairway. you don't have a camera, you don't have a mirror or a reflection. You've only got your concepts, your feels, and your ideas. When you're practicing, that's when you're trying to build the correct concepts, feelings, ideas. You get those wrong, and when you're on the golf course, you've got very little chance of doing it correctly. So these drills are here to create some good feels, some good concepts, and some good ideas about what we're trying to do. So as you watch those swings back, you should see, you know, quite an extreme backswing. That's fine. We're not looking to make perfect swings. We're looking to have a drill which creates a new movement, which helps the learning process and helps us ultimately take that to the golf course. So I really hope that video helps. So many golfers do struggle with that takeaway. If that is you, I say really hope there's some information in there which can help. And also share this video if you know someone who struggles with the takeaway. There are plenty of them out there. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below, comments box, like button. Really appreciate your views at this time when we can't go onto the golf course. It really does mean a lot. And if you would like to subscribe to the channel, as we said at the start, go ahead down there into the description box and click that link. We'll hopefully see you back here again soon for another video.